Alright guys, so this is a follow-up video from the video that I put out yesterday. You are not going to understand what I'm talking about if you don't watch the video from yesterday, so I will link that first link in the description if you have not watched that. But I will also explain it for the people that don't want to do that. I completely understand it. Basically, I had a theory, and my friend had a theory, that Battlefield 2042's recoil system, after doing some testing, was completely broken, and it's been like this since the beta of the game. It has heavily influenced why the game feels so bad for so many people, and it largely flew under the radar because we were confusing it with quote-unquote mouse input problems, controller input problems, something like that. There are input problems, and I still think there are, but this heavily compounds them, and I guess just flew under the radar for the longest time, but not anymore, because DICE has actually confirmed that the recoil system in Battlefield 2042 is bugged, and they do know what is wrong, okay? I have actually spoken to developers on this, and I have gotten personal confirmation that they know what is wrong, and it is completely bugged. So for the longest time, since literally the beta of the game, the recoil system has been bugged. And for the people that don't understand how the recoil system was bugged, I will try to explain it the best I can. So again, in the video yesterday, I was comparing Battlefield 2042's recoil to other Battlefield games' recoil, and I was doing this test where I was shooting basically like 30 or 40 bullets, not controlling recoil, and then smoothly pulling down. And I did that same test in Battlefield 5, and my friend Beyerdynamic did it in Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1. And the difference in Battlefield 2042 is there is something wrong with the game, that when you pull your weapon past the first fired shot's position, it just gets completely fucked. And that is definitely contributing to it, but it feels like there's a wall of recoil you're pulling through, and this would heavily contribute to the bad feeling of Battlefield 2042's gunplay. Now, that's my explanation as best as I can explain it. I actually know exactly what is wrong because I was told exactly what is wrong. Another thing I was told is that I can't tell you exactly what is wrong, and that kind of irritates me a lot, but I'm going to respect their wishes with this. But here's what I'm not going to respect. How the fuck did you not find this for a year? How did you have to have third-party help to find this problem? Why did Beyerdynamic and I have to beta test your dog shit video game to help you try to fix a catastrophic fundamental issue that has not only flown under the radar for the large part in the community, but has also flown under the radar presumably within the development studio? And another thing I will add on to this is when Beyerdynamic and I were trying to contact developers and tell them about this, when they actually talked to us, their initial reaction to this problem we were showing them was completely different than the reaction to things that we've shown them in the past. You know, I've spoken to them about mouse input in the past. I've spoken to them about the movement delay in the past that I feel in this game. But when I showed them this problem, it was like, oh shit. Like, this is not good. That was their reaction. I mean, we're talking about they were immediately interested in what we were trying to test. They were asking me, okay, do you have like a 100% consistent way of replicating this? Can you send me some clips? All this stuff. It was like urgent, like, oh shit, please send us clips. What's wrong with this so we can try to figure it out as soon as possible. That reaction was telling. And I'll give them some credit here in them responding quickly and taking it seriously and finding the issue seriously. And if they do fix it correctly, this will likely be the largest change to the feeling of Battlefield 2042 thus far. Like, seriously, across the entire update schedule and cycle so far, this change that I have helped find along with my friend Beyerdynamic will likely have significant impact on Battlefield 2042 and the way the game feels. And I'll put this into perspective for you guys. Nobody has played a single minute of Battlefield 2042, including the developers, without the recoil being bugged. They might have to actually go back into the game and rebalance weapon recoil. Who knows how the game is going to feel without the recoil being bugged? And while this change, that hopefully they make correctly, will improve the game, in my opinion, fairly drastically, I just have to reiterate, this is both incredibly irritating that it persisted for this long, and also incredibly embarrassing for DICE that they basically had to have third-party people come in and say, hey, look at this bullshit that should have been very obvious and fixed before the game even released. It's a fundamental catastrophic issue with your game's gunplay recoil system. You should probably look at it. And once again, full credit to Beyerdynamic for actually putting his nose to the grindstone and testing this. He initially found it and then messaged me to get a second opinion and test it with him. Beyerdynamic is an extremely passionate player, and he's extremely good at testing things. He is mechanically very in tune with things, and he's also a very passionate player. So when he installed Battlefield 2042 again, he said, "You know what? This game feels like shit, and I'm gonna get to the bottom as to why it feels so bad." And he spent 2 or 3 hours in the test range trying to figure out just weird things. He was doing all sorts of weird tests, and finally he did this one, and he said immediately, he DM'd me on Discord, he said, "I figured it out." And I was like, okay, you know, Beyerdynamic is trolling, it's huge copium, like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, basically. And then he told me what to do, and I tested it, and I was like, okay, this is real deal, something is catastrophically wrong here, and hey, we'll see what happens. I don't anticipate this fix coming soon. Definitely not within the next patch. Hopefully within the next 2 or 3. I don't have any information regarding when it's going to come. All I know is DICE is aware, DICE knows what is wrong, and Battlefield 2042 might feel a lot different in the future. So that wraps it up for this section of this video. Hopefully they can get that fix out faster than anticipated, but I have to dedicate the ending of this video to a very, very special section of people in the comments section, both in my Twitch chat and in my YouTube videos, that have been irritating me for over a year, essentially telling me that, "Oh, Enders, you don't know what you're talking about. There's no problems with the mouse input. You just complain about nothing all the time." Well, this statement that I'm about to make goes out to all those people. Number 1, fuck you. Number 2, you're dog shit. Number 3, sug my balls. And number 4, you're welcome for helping fix Battlefield 2042 and improving your playtime experience. You can compensate me in a number of ways. I prefer tier 3 sub on my Twitch channel. And whoa, DICE, come back, because hey, I didn't forget about you. DICE, as far as you're concerned, Beyerdynamic and I talked in a private Discord chat last night, and we both came to the agreement that the compensation required for beta testing your game and helping you fix this would be $2 million each. We both accept checks, and honestly, this is a great investment because we both figure that this problem and generally just the problems with Battlefield 2042 has actually cost DICE/EA far more money than $2 million. So I think the investment of $4 million total in Beyerdynamic and I beta testing your game, especially the next Battlefield, would actually result in a net increase in overall success of the game and profits. So mull that offer over, let my business email people know, and thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it.